If you're interested in leveling up your walking routine, you may want to consider IWT, or interval walking training. This follows along the same concept of HIIT, or high intensity interval training. This type of training alternates lighter exercise intensities with higher exercise intensities within the same workout, allowing you to achieve higher exercise intensities than you could achieve if you were to exercise at the same consistent intensity throughout the workout. As you might guess, interval walking training doesn't achieve the very high intensities of HIIT training, but it has many proven benefits and you can do it anywhere, making it a great exercise alternative for older adults. One study showed that an interval walking program significantly increased maximal oxygen consumption, which is a measure of overall fitness, and it also decreased significantly lifestyle disease scores. One interesting thing about the study is that the improvement in maximal oxygen consumption was correlated with the duration of fast walking during the program and had no correlation with the amount of slow walking. So the more fast walking you get in during the week, the better improvement you're going to have in your maximal oxygen consumption, and also the more you're going to decrease your lifestyle disease scores. Another study of interval walking showed that the program significantly improved cognition, similar to that of a normal walking program, but the interval walking program showed significantly more improvements in arterial function. You can vary the amount of fast and slow walking in your program to suit your needs, but remember that the improvements in cardiovascular health are largely correlated with the amount of fast walking you get in. One good program is to work yourself up to 3 minutes of slow walking, alternating with 3 minutes of fast walking. Do that for 5 cycles and it gives you a 30-minute workout. So how fast do you need to walk during the higher intensity interval? Well, it depends on the individual and their fitness level. What you want to do is use the perceived exertion scale. And you're going to try to strive for an exertion level between a 5 and a 6, which is where you're going to be breathing slightly heavily, but not really be winded.
In a minute, I'm going to show you some techniques to increase your speed and intensity. But first, I want to describe some of the other known benefits of interval walking training. First, enhanced cardiovascular health. IWT has been shown to improve cardiovascular fitness by challenging the heart and increasing its efficiency. Studies indicate that this form of training can lead to lower blood pressure and reduced risk of heart disease. Second, increased calorie burn. By incorporating bursts of higher intensity walking, IWT helps boost metabolism and burn more calories compared to steady state walking. This makes it an excellent option for those looking to manage their weight or improve body composition. Next, improved endurance. Engaging in IWT regularly can enhance endurance levels, allowing individuals to walk longer distances with less fatigue. This can have significant implications for daily activities and overall quality of life. Finally, time efficiency. One of the biggest advantages of IWT is its time efficiency. By incorporating intervals of higher intensity, you can achieve significant fitness gains in a shorter amount of time compared to traditional steady-state cardio.
Now I want to talk about how to increase your speed and intensity both safely and effectively. Because often when people speed up when they're walking, all technique goes right out the window. And it's not going to help if you end up with plantar fasciitis 2 days into your new routine. First, make sure that you're wearing shoes that are comfortable and well-fitting. And if you're new to fast walking, you want to make sure that you have a good arch support that's comfortable for you, and also that your shoes have appropriate cushioning for your level of walking. Now for myself, I don't use a lot of cushioning or arch support in my shoes, but I've been doing this for a long time. So if you're just getting started, you want to make sure that your shoes are slightly cushioned and with a good arch support, because there's probably going to be more impact than you're used to if you haven't been fast walking for a long time. Second, make sure to use vertical posture at all times as you're picking up speed. There's several ways to pick up speed effectively, but if you're going to do it right, you have to make sure you stay vertical. A lot of people tend to lean forward when they walk faster, and then that's going to exaggerate the amount of impact that hits on your heels and reverberates up your knees into your hips and your lower back. Now let's talk about several ways you can increase your speed when you're walking. The first one is to do normal technique using rotation of your core, but simply rotate faster. This is going to cause your tempo to pick up. I'm using my normal technique, and then I'm just increasing the speed of my rotation, and that increases the speed of the gait. Now you'll notice with that first technique, my arms were still extended at my sides without flexed elbows. The second technique I'm going to describe, and one which you're probably familiar with seeing, is walking with bent elbows. Now, it's very important to know that the bent elbows are not an artificial way of increasing your speed. The bent elbows are determined by how you're using your glutes when you are walking. When we're walking normally, just like strolling, or even if I increased speed like I did before, I am flexing my swing leg hip. As I hit the ground with my heel, my rear hip is going to be flexing, pulling forward until I get to the flat of the foot. And then I'm going to swing through, flexing the hip of my new standing leg. And then I'm going to simply rotate and continue that cycle. With each movement, I'm powering the gait by hip flexion. When we bend the elbows, what we're doing is powering a certain part of the step with hip extension from your glutes. So as my heel is about to come down, I'm going to push with the glutes as I rotate up until the point where the foot hits the flat position. That pushing from the glutes is going to push my elbow into flexion. Then I'm going to power with flexion of my standing leg hip, just like I did before, to create the swing through. And then I'm going to begin to push with the glutes of the standing leg again as I lower the right heel. As I do that alternate hip extension with each step, it's going to create the flexed elbows that you see when people are doing what most people refer to as power walking. So when I walk with hip flexion, my arms are going to be extended at the side. As soon as I begin to extend from the glutes, it's going to push my arms up into elbow flexion. Using your glutes like I just described is going to bring some more intensity to that walking style and increase the cardiovascular exertion that you're doing and make you walk faster. But it is very important to understand that you're not triggering the swing through with your glutes. So when we hit the flat foot position, I am not using the glutes of my left leg now to push the body forward. I'm still pulling forward as I describe in all of my other videos. If you try and swing through using your glutes, you're going to end up pushing yourself into a lean like this, which is what happens when most people try walking faster. The final technique for increasing your speed when you're walking, and my least favorite, is going to be increasing your stride length. Now this can also increase the amount of impact on your body when you walk in this manner, but I'm going to demonstrate it because it is an alternative that a lot of people use, and I want you to understand the difference between this and what I've described before. When we walk normally, we are using rotation to move the body forward, in addition to the hip action that I already described. And the speed of the gait is going to be determined by the speed of the rotation. So if I want to walk faster, I simply rotate faster. But I don't increase my stride length by doing that. I increase the stride cadence. And that is what I think is the most effective and least impact way of increasing your speed. But the alternative that I'm talking about now that doesn't involve leaning over is going to be pushing off with your glute of the standing leg, which I just described you shouldn't do, but at the same time, you're going to actively swing your swing leg forward using hip flexion. That allows you to maintain a vertical posture, but it's going to create a very long stride. You're going to see much bigger arm swing with that. That third method of increasing your speed and your intensity is one of my least favorites, but it is something that can be effective, and you can try it as long as it's not causing excessive pain in your heels or your knees. Now, the final method to increase your intensity is not by increasing your speed, that's by increasing the elevation that you're walking on. You can do this on a treadmill by increasing the incline, or if you live in a place that has some hills, you can go for a walk and alternate walking on level ground with walking uphill. That is a fabulous way to increase the variety of your walking. It also works your glutes more than regular walking, and it's a great exercise that you can incorporate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Also, share this with other people and leave a comment. All of these things help the YouTube algorithm to push this information out to more and more people. And a lot of people do need this sort of information, and the only way they get turned on to it is by YouTube plopping these sort of videos in front of them on their home screen. So I hope you will help me with that, and then have a great day.